We want to make sure that the customer owns their journey, the bank owns their journey, and we don't force the journey on them. I'll give you an example. If you're a small bank and you already have a wire system or you already have a SWIFT system in place, you don't have to touch that if it's fine, working fine, don't touch it. But let's say you want to launch a new payment type. You want to launch SEPA IP in Europe. You want to launch instant payment in the US, right? What you can do, you can leverage the payment as a service just with that aspect of your business. And you can say, I don't want to touch what I have, but demonstrate to me that you can offer me a new payment type and go live very, very quickly. For example, we can take a customer live on a new rail in as little as 3 months. Now you can start and go live there. What are the benefits? The benefit is time to value, cost, quality, compliance, security, all the things I talked about. And then you can start thinking about modernizing your legacy systems. That way you lower your risk. And you also have proof points along the way that the vendor can support you, the partner can support you. That's one approach. Other approach, which we have done, we have some customers who've done that, is a big bang approach. Is I want to replace my current wire system. How do I do it? And we can help you there as well, because we can get you up and running with a new RTGS system, again in 3 to 4 months' time. So the value is very apparent. Time to market is the value. Lower cost. You don't have to depend on expensive resources. You don't have to worry about compliance. We'll take care of that. And also you pay as you go model. So your cost scales as your business grows. So you don't have big fixed cost. Fixed cost becomes a variable cost. And we can scale with you as you scale. And also compliance. I talked about DORA. DORA requires you to be active across multiple regions. Okay? That's not something most banks can do today. As a vendor, we can provide that out of the box. Just something you don't even have to worry about. So the value is multiple at multiple fronts. And that's the value of PaaS, payment as a service.
I think that bank used to build everything internally, in general. And I think if they want to continue doing so, they'll just fail miserably. We need business that it is their business to actually keep those platforms up to date and at the peak performance that they can be having. So I think this is how, in any situation, not only about payment as a service, but any time of financial technological solution, bank will need to move toward providers. It's not their job.
One of the things that we are seeing is all related to payment hubs or payment orchestration, where you can, different scenarios, right? But let's say that you partner with certain fintech and use one provider to kind of connect with the different rails without having to go through the old implementation process, so that can help you to accelerate the time to market. That's kind of one of the use cases. But what I'm seeing even more interesting is the possibility of bringing what I'm calling unified payments, where as a user I can tell you, or I can understand where you want to send the money, how much you want to send, when do you want that money to be sent, and how much you want to pay for that. So I can offer you the better options instead of passing that to the user, that decision. So all of that is built with a payment as a service mindset. And there are other use cases or services that can go on top when you think about account verification, when you think about, again, using your unique alias or social token, so I can reroute the payments based on who you are instead of just including or asking you to bring the routing number and all of that. So we see a lot of those capabilities. And definitely the isolations when we think about or getting inputs to send payments with certain rails, rerouting based on what it's more efficient. So we'll see more and more of that. And the common service is always the data and understanding who is behind the transaction. That's also a big piece of the revolution in general.
Being in a heavily regulated institution, the first thing we need to do is make sure we have responsible AI standards. Most banks have been using AI for years in various spaces. You know, fraud's a great one, that, you know, a lot of the tools have AI built into them. So what we need to do is adapt for generative AI, update our responsible standards, update our model risk management and compliance, just to make sure that when people are using generative AI, they still understand that they're responsible for the answer and they can't abdicate to the AI. So that's a really big part of it for us.